being able to tell you, hey, some things are about to pop off that you guys don't really like, are not going to like. It's not going to be good for you, but if you do this and do that and believe this and believe that, then you may have a chance. You may have a chance.
Right. You know, we're instructed to give them the clarity and the understanding so that they can make a logical determination. All of this time, the wicked have lied to all humanity and all creation. It's been a Eurocentric system, a Eurocentric reality that's just been imposed upon all of humanity. All right? And all of this time, we've all been forced to listen to the Europeans, the Caucasians. It's been what they say. All right? And what we're saying now, it is time for it to no longer be what they say. Now it's time to listen to the resurrected covenant remnant, the obedient covenant remnant. Now, my Akis, they got a lot of knowledge, you know, so yes, it would be wise to listen to my Akis because they're bringing out the clarity and understanding prophetically, okay? They are bringing out the correct prophecies, all right? But yes, they too need some fine tuning when it comes to their mentality and their heart condition. Let's continue. Okay, before we continue, you know how I do. I gotta go over what the Spirit instructed me to do. All right? Trust in the true and living God's moral clarity and understanding. Okay? Psalms 5, 4 through 6. Let's go ahead and get it. All right. Give ear to my words, okay? This particular God. See, I got to make it clear, people. All right? I don't like the term God because, you know, there's many gods. Okay? So I'm going to make this clear. The God that this is referring to is your conscience. All right? The one that created our conscience. All right? The one that embedded his eternal law into our conscience. All right? You need to understand that this particular energy source, this benevolent energy source, is all good. All right? This is the God that is talking about. All right? So you want to give ear to this God's words. All right? And all those who are an extension of this God. Okay? In the AM, O Lord, you hear my voice. At daybreak, I lay my plea before you and wait in expectation. For you are not a God who delights in wickedness. See, this is why I had to lay that foundation. Okay? Had to lay that foundation. Because these days, people are associating the creator of the heavens and the earth as a God who delights in wickedness. Okay? You're confused. Because the true and living God, the infinite consciousness, the ever-presence of benevolence, has never delighted in wickedness. No evil can dwell in the presence of infinite benevolence. It's pure. It's holy. It's righteous. So what makes you people think that this particular presence delights in your wickedness? You Christians, you are in a religion that delights in wickedness. You pride yourselves in your belief in a blood sacrifice of the innocent. You revel in that. And you're so arrogant about it. For God so loved the world, he sent his son to the earth to lay his life down to cover the sins of the world. He did no such thing. You are claiming that this God participates in wickedness. You're claiming that this God participates in human sacrifice. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you claim that my God does the same thing as Satanist? How dare you? How dare you claim that my God delights in your grotesque wickedness? No evil can dwell in his presence. The boastful cannot stand in his presence. Now, I won't go as far as to say he hates all workers of iniquity, because my God don't hate. And the only reason I'm using he is because, man, it makes it easier, okay? It's just easier. I'm sorry. I don't mean nothing by it, okay? Because it's both, all right? It's not male nor female, all right? The creator of consciousness, benevolence, is not male nor female, but is more geared towards feminine. There's a feminine quality. The Holy Spirit is feminine, okay? And that's that small, still voice in your conscience, okay? But, when you seal your conscience, you don't never hear that small, still voice. And all you hear is the precepts of mortal men. All you hear is the indoctrination, that which you've been taught to believe the entirety of your existence upon this earth. So it's not that he hates, or it's not that this presence hates all workers of iniquity. No, but does hate the iniquity. All right? There's a difference between hating the iniquity, all right? But is allowing you to make that choice, okay? Allows you to make the choice. It makes it hard for me to talk when I'm having to focus on the superficial shit, Let me just use the freaking common freaking proverb of he, okay? So that way it doesn't mess up my flow, okay? But I have to, at least let you people know that it's not necessarily he. Okay? Now, we are to be given ear to his words, people. Okay? His words. Alright? Let me pull this over. Let's see. That's Psalms 1:5. Let's see here. And we read 4. We read all of this. Now let's go to 6. Okay, so you see how they add lies in here? Alright, he does not destroy. Okay? He doesn't destroy, but those who tell lies destroy themselves. Alright? Malevolent forces will destroy malevolence, okay? They blended good and evil, because he doesn't destroy. Okay? Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Okay? The adversary comes to kill, steal, and destroy. The thief cometh to kill, steal, and destroy. My God ain't no thief. My God ain't evil. Okay? Stop blending evil and putting that on my God. The reason that my Akis keep doing it is because of things like this. Okay? It's because of scriptures that were translated and written like this, where it's blended with good and evil. You know, they blended. This is what they literally did. They blended good and evil, and they put that on the Creator. All right. So like they got the Creator doing every evil deed that mortal men do. Okay? That why you keep listening to these corrupted people? Why you keep listening to these people who have not been retaught by way of the Spirit? Why do you keep casting off the few of us that have actually humbled ourselves and we've changed ourselves? Because understand, back in 2019, I read these scriptures verbatim as it was written. I was still kind of a babe. Okay, I was being obedient though. I was obeying the Spirit, but I was as a babe being led by way of the Spirit. Okay, by 2019 September, I had given up eating animals' flesh, but nevertheless, I was still reading the scriptures like this, and I was still blending the good and evil, saying that my God will destroy the wicked. All right, this is on my Facebook profile. All right, you go back to the time before, I think like 2023 or so. I did not have the higher clarity and understanding that, we must separate good apart from evil. We must not keep blaspheming our Maker, the Maker of our spirit, the lover of our soul. Okay, He does not destroy. All right, those who tell lies destroy themselves. Do a lie not come back and bite you in the ass? You reap what you sow. Okay? When you destroy people with lies, then you will be destroyed with the truth. Okay? And that's just is what it is. That's what's happening right now. Okay? Um, he does not hate, all right, but he does not protect, and you're gonna be out of his presence. Okay, a man that is of bloodshed and deceit. Okay, my brews, many of my Akis, all right, they're still men of bloodshed. All right, they've yet to leave off the bloodshed. All right, they're still partakers of this bloodshed. All right, and that's a transgression that they're gonna have to deal with. All right, they're gonna have to overcome this. All right, this is a very powerful demon to overcome. All right. If you don't overcome this demon of bloodshed, this devil of bloodshed and deceit, you're not gonna be in his protection. All right, that doesn't mean he hates you. Okay, my God does not hate, but my God does not deliver and or protect those who reject him. Okay. But I will enter your house by the abundance of your loving devotion. In reverence, I will bow down toward your holy temple. This is what I have done. Okay? Lead me, O Lord, in your righteousness. Because of my enemies, make straight your way before me. For not a word they speak can be trusted. Destruction lies within them. Their throats are open graves. Their tongues practice deceit. We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the U.S. public believes is false. CIA Director William J. Casey, 1981. Caucasian. telling you outright, there is a disinformation program that they have started, and they're looking forward to its completion. And practically all of humanity, especially everybody over here in the United States of America, everything that they believe is false. But when I tell people this, they want to call me arrogant, and they want to say you think you know everything. But apparently they don't know about this CIA director William J. Casey, who made this statement in 1981. Declare them guilty, oh God. See, he is the ultimate judge. All right? The ultimate judge of our mentality and our heart condition, as well as our actions, which testify of our mentality and our heart condition. Your actions been out here testifying this whole damn time. How the hell you think you're gonna hide from God? You can't even hide from his people any longer. We see you. We clearly see you. Declare them guilty, O God. Let them fall by their own devices. Drive them out for their many transgressions. Get them off of our land. For they have rebelled against you. Your people came back to your pure covenant, Father. But these people refuse to serve you. These people refuse to repent and do right by your people. Therefore, they are rebelling against you. But let all who take refuge in you rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy. May you shelter them, that those who love your name, eternal benevolence, loving kindness, may rejoice in you. For surely you, O benevolence, will bless the righteous. You surround us with the shield of your favor. This is the attributes of the true and living God: to protect, shield, and provide for those who choose with our free agency to love, worship, serve, and obey this presence, this source, this God. Malevolent forces imposes their God. These wicked heathens imposed their God, shoved it down our throat, crammed it down our throat, forced it upon our people by way of the physical sword. We're not doing that. Though we're wielding this spiritual sword by the way of the Spirit, yeah, this living word is the sword of the Spirit. We're not physically harming you. You have an option. We're here to help you. We're here to give you an option to join our God, who will shelter us. Okay? Take refuge with our God. In order to do that, you must show love unto us. For real, for real. Our God knows your heart. Our God knows your mentality. You can't be all living all prosperously and refusing to impart of your abundance unto his people who have been starving. Oh, goodness sakes, man. It ain't about vain lip service, people. Okay? It ain't about no vain lip service. Alright? These people done lied to you your entire life. Okay? These people done lied their entire life. They done lied to us our entire life. Your eyes are too pure to look upon evil, and you cannot tolerate wrongdoing. So why do you tolerate the faithless? Why are you silent while the wicked swallow up those more righteous than themselves? I'm curious about that. Let's just go with it. The righteous receive a reward. Mm-mm-mm-mm. You have well, he allowed this because he gave us freedom of choice, and people want to make that freedom of choice something evil. You know, the fact that he gave us the choice to choose, you're claiming that that's evil. Many people want to claim that that's evil. You know, because it does make, I guess, because it makes it harder on those who choose righteousness. All right, when the wicked have freedom of choice right along with the righteous, because you can't force righteousness. Okay, you can't force loving kindness. You can't force mercy. So, of course, it is going to be much harder to choose this than to follow along accordingly to those who are imposing their evil will. All right, you taking advantage of the freedom of choice. You know, when people have the option to take advantage of the freedom of choice and just do whatever they want for the allotted time frame, yeah, that's gonna make it much more difficult for people to choose the righteous path. And that's why so many are gathered, in the clutches of malevolence. Me personally, I'd rather just sacrifice my fleshly body, you know, than to be swaddled up in the evil. I'd rather die than be forced to be evil. I'd rather die than be forced to conform to a type of mentality and heart condition that's contrary to me. Okay? I'd rather die than be forced to conform to live a robotic lifestyle contrary to me. Like, I'm supposed to suppress who I am to live according to how everybody else want me to live. What the hell kind of life is that? I would hate my life. So what? I'm earning money. So what? I'm able to build a success. I'm like, bro, no. I would be the type to take myself out, bro. I can't do that. Okay, I don't have a heart nor mentality after that. All right, it's all contrary to me. So, because I'm the type of person that will literally sacrifice my life, um, to stay true to who I am. That's the reason why I trust in the true and living God. You know, it's the reason I can't be bought with money. Not because I'm setting myself up in authority over anybody. People have just been trying to force me to live a superficial reality the entirety of my life. um, I don't know where Habakkuk is going with this, but yeah, this is crazy. You know, they like literally polluted our records, man. They polluted our records. Okay, the Lord answers again. Wow. Wow. Then the Lord answered me, write down this vision and clearly inscribe it on tablets, so that a herald may run with it. So that a herald may run with it. What's a herald? Like the hairbringer? An official messenger bringing news. Imagine that. A person or thing viewed as a sign that something is about to happen. Oh my God. Yes, a hairbringer. Sign, indicator. Like I keep telling you, I'm a catalyst. Okay, I am a catalyst for this system or against this system for my God. Okay, I'm a catalyst against this system for my God. All right, indication, signal. All right, prelude, portent, omen. Okay, this is probably why I come across the way that I do. People want to claim it's arrogance, but no, it's like more like an omen. It's a forewarning. Okay, an announcer. Don't I have like an announcer type voice when I bring this truth by way of the Spirit? It's announcing to all humanity what's coming. All right, a forerunner. All right, we're laying down the red carpet for our big brother. Okay, precursor, messenger. Yes, we're ushering in the righteous kingdom. All right, for token. All right, signal. All right, we are announcing. Okay, we have been blowing the trumpets. Okay, paving the way. All right, opening the way, foretelling. Okay, proceed, come before. All right, hairbringer. All right, this is what I am. Okay, I am a herald. I'm a hairbringer. All right, and I've been running with this. All right, for the vision awaits an appointed time. It testifies of the end and does not lie. Though it lingers, wait for it. See, it's been 3 grueling years for me. Okay, and it all my life. I just turned 49. Okay, I just turned 49 on August 10th. These scriptures were written a long damn time ago. Okay, thousands of years ago. Since it will surely come and will not delay. Look at the arrogant one. Y'all keep wanting to call me arrogant, but I'm lowly. I've been forced to live a lowly life. I don't have money. I don't have materialistic things. I'm in need of many things. I live in poverty. Okay? But yet I see all of these arrogant as prosperous nations on my land. Give me a second. I'm having to deal with my laggy PC. Right. And the reason for it is because it's been established this way. All right. So, you got those who set themselves up in authority, they're stepping upon us. Okay? They took us down and they raised up their system. Okay? They're standing upon us. Alright? They slaughtered us and now they're standing upon us, utilizing their religion of Christianity, taking our God's name in vain. Second. Let me find this. Give me a second. I'm looking. Give me a second. I'm looking for something specific. Alright. Dealing with your... okay. Thank you, Father. There we go. Alright, so that paved the way for this. Okay? So now you're all upon this land, and you're puffed up in your pride and your arrogance, to where you literally have the nerve to say, "Make America white again." This is not your ancestral land, but it is the ancestral land of those whom you are standing upon. You can even see the tears in the statue. So you don't want to deal with this initial atrocity, how you took our land, all right? How you took all of our resources, how you disenfranchised us as a people, how you took away our livelihood, and now you're walking around all proud and arrogant. With all your prosperity. So, look at the proud, arrogant one. His soul is not upright, but the righteous will live by faith. Am I not living by faith? I am not earning, in God we trust, for my living. I'm not earning money for a living. For almost a week now, I've had 57 cents to my name. There's 7 cents in my checking account and 2 quarters in my pocket. The righteous will live by faith, and physical wealth indeed betrays him. That means that the true righteous are not wealthy. The true righteous are in poverty, while the wicked have all their prosperity. All right? The arrogant man is never at rest. He enlarges his appetite like Sheol, and like death, he is never satisfied. Greed is a bottomless pit. He gathers all the nations to himself and collects all the peoples as his own. This is how they did it. Will not all of these take up a taunt against him, speaking with mockery and derision? Yes, they scorn and mock me continuously, while they force me to continue to live in poverty, holding on to all of the resources and the land that their forefathers have stolen from me and my people, the true heirs of this land. Woe to him who amasses what is not his, and makes himself rich with many loans. How long will this go on? Will not your creditors suddenly arise, and those who disturb you awaken? Then you will become their prey, because you have plundered many nations. The remnant of the people will plunder you, because of your bloodshed against man, and your violence against the land, the city, and all their dwellers. Woe to him who builds his house by unjust gain, to place his nest on high, and escape the hand of disaster. You have plotted shame for your house by cutting off many peoples and forfeiting your life. You cut off our livelihood, therefore you forfeited your life. All of you who shut up your bowels of compassion, you have a covenant with the worst of the heathen who established this system, imposing selfish ambition for our own self-preservation, because you are not addressing the initial sin of how they took away our land. So therefore you are in agreement that they took our lands by brute force. You are in agreement that they took over our resources by brute force. You are in agreement that they're poisoning our resources, our food, our water, and selling it back to us. You're in agreement that they're forcing us to pay them money to continuously oppress us upon our own ancestral land. You're in agreement to all of that. Therefore, you are forfeiting your life. For the stones will cry out from the wall, and the rafters will echo it from the woodwork. Woe to him who builds a city with bloodshed, and establishes a town by iniquity. Is it not indeed from the Lord of hosts that the labor of the people only feeds the fire, and the nations weary themselves in vain? What does it profit a man to gain the whole world in all your prosperity, and yet lose your soul? You labored in vain to get all of your physical prosperity, 'cause you only have it temporarily. You got it by brute force. You got it through means of much bloodshed and tyranny. Okay? Even those of you who are earning your money for a living, you think that you have a righteous job. The root thereof is not righteous. The economic system, the root of the economic system is not righteous. It was established by the worst of the heathen. Okay? So no matter how righteous your job is, if you are earning your money for a living, you are in transgression when you refuse to use your abundance to help those of us that are in need of bare necessities, at the very least. When you ain't got no compassion, kindness, mercy, or empathy, at least for our bare necessities, that shows that you have a hardened heart condition and a seared consciousness. Okay? You done seared your conscience. Alright? Because you got no compassion. Like you got no human connection to another human being that's suffering. You want to say that, well, no, you're suffering because you refuse to do what you need to do as a responsible adult. That's your mentality. That's the mentality that has to change, because you keep joining yourself to evil. You keep ignoring the fact that it was the wicked who established the system. And you want to just deal with what we were born into. Okay? I'm telling you that it's time to change your heart condition. I'm telling you it's time to change your mentality. Okay? The wicked established money as the pinnacle for sustainability. All right? If you keep upholding that mentality and that heart condition, then you are attached to the worst of the heathen. Okay? The only way to detach yourself from the worst of the heathen is to have a renewed mind and a change of heart condition. Okay? You must begin to walk in perfect love. You must begin to obtain the fruits of the Spirit. Okay? That is the only way that you can detach yourself. When he said, "Come out of her, my people, so that you be not a partaker of her iniquity," it's not just by vain confession and belief. Okay? To come out of her, my people, to confess his name before men, is to have a change of heart condition. All right? Is the renewing of your mind. Okay? The transforming of your mind, your mentality. All right? That's how you come out of the system. All right? For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the true and living God as the waters cover the sea. Keep an eye on my time. All right. Okay. See. Wow. And the destructions of animals will terrify you. For your violence against Lebanon will overwhelm you, and the destruction of animals will terrify you, because of your bloodshed against men, and your violence against the land, the city, and all their dwellers. What use is an idol that a craftsman should carve it, or an image, a teacher of lies? This image is the image of the beast, which is your money. Okay? For its maker trusts in his own creation. In God we trust. You got the first Egyptian captivity, and you have the last Egyptian captivity. The children of light have been awakened. Let's see, where's that at? Okay? This happened regardless of what you people want to believe. Jubilees 23:26. In those days, the children shall begin to study the eternal laws and seek the true commandments and return to the narrow path of righteousness. There is a few of us that have done this. Okay? There's a few of us that have humbled ourselves like little children. And we came back to the true gospel. Alright? So understand, all you people that are trusting in this money, okay? And that was forced on all humanity. Okay? And now you're all prosperous. Okay? You're walking around with all your prosperity. He makes idols that cannot speak. You know, they want to say, money talks. And in this reality, in this false ass reality, hell yeah, money talks to people who can be bought. It don't speak to me. It don't speak to the true righteous. The only way that this so-called money will speak is once it's transformed by the renewing of the mentality and heart condition. And that only comes from eternal benevolence. And those who have this money that has that transformation via eternal benevolence will utilize this money to help relieve misery and suffering. Okay? Yeah, that's going to speak differently. Because it's no longer speaking selfishly. It will begin to speak righteously. All right? And selflessly, which is righteous. All right? Woe to him who says to wood, awake, or to silent stone, arise. Can it give guidance? Did money create this earth? Did it create our spirit? Did it create our soul? Did it create our fleshly body? Hell no, it didn't do none of that. Okay? Therefore, it can't give no guidance. It can't give no clarity and understanding. It can't give you anything other than that which pleases your fleshly body in this false ass reality. Because understand, the true and living God can also give us everything that we could ever want and or need that would sustain and please our fleshly bodies. We don't have to obtain it wickedly. We don't have to obtain it selfishly. Behold, it is overlaid with gold and silver, yet there is no breath in it at all. Money only has the value that wicked mortal men have placed upon it. But the Lord is his holy temple. Let all the earth be silent before him. See, this is where I dwell. Okay? I dwell with my God. Alright? And none of you can refute that which I've been given by way of his spirit. Alright? With all your prosperity. You think you can just hold on to all your prosperity. That's insane. When tempted, this is James 1:13. You need to understand the blending that they've done in the scriptures. You need to be able to separate what's good apart from evil. Okay? So James 1:13, when tempted, no one should say that the true and living God is tempting you. All right? Don't ever say that it's the true and living God tempting or testing or trying you. No. For God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does God do evil to anybody. Okay? Not the true and living God, nor does he tempt anybody. All right? He don't do these things. All right? The wicked does these things. They're the ones that utilize their free agency to do wickedly. And when they utilize their free agency to do wickedly, those who are trying to live righteously, we're the ones that are tempted by those who are doing wickedly. Okay? Do you think I have not been tempted to get a job, earn money? All right, it certainly would be much easier than a continuously long suffer. Is our iniquities that build barriers between us and the true and living God. All right? Is our sins that cause us to be hidden away from our God. Okay? We basically hide ourselves from God. God sees us, but we act like he don't exist. All right? We separate ourselves from him when we are in sin. Okay? People keep freaking projecting their reality outwardly, and that's how they're viewing God. We are the created. Okay? So you can't view God based upon your perception. All right? Based upon your mentality and or your heart condition. Okay, the heart can be deceitful above all things, and it certainly is when you have yet to humble yourself like a little child and unlearn the vain wisdom of the reality of the world that we were born in, established by the worst of the heathen. Okay, so you keep viewing the true and living God as some vengeful, evil dictator God of wrath when you walk in disobedience. No, it ain't like that. When you walk in disobedience to the true and living God of eternal benevolence, then you are left without his protection. You leave from being underneath his umbrella of protection. That's your choice. Okay? You need to picture it more like he's protecting you. He's shielding us in his umbrella of protection. But when we want to walk in sin, we literally go outside. We take the strides outside, away from his umbrella of protection. Okay? So now we're out here in the open, unprotected by his umbrella of protection. And now when calamity and malevolence and all of these things are happening to us, we want to look back at benevolence and be like, look what you're doing to me. Like he was supposed to follow you with his umbrella of protection. He's just supposed to follow you in all your wickedness, all your disobedience. He's just supposed to just like run behind you. Oh, it's okay. I'm shielding you anyway. Go ahead and do all the wickedness you want to do. I'm still going to shield you. I'm still going to protect you because you my child. No, sir, no, ma'am. We make the choice to go outside of his umbrella of protection, and he does not chase us with that umbrella of protection, okay? We have to choose to come back to his umbrella of protection, and that is his pure covenant, okay? That's the best way I can explain it, people. Stop blaming your maker, okay? Stop blaming your maker for the choices that you make to do evil, okay? 1 John 1:5, and this is the message we have heard from him and announced to you. The true and living God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all. Alright? So quit blending this good and evil. Alright? Quit blending it, people. You are no longer going to do that in my presence. See, my brethren get mad at me. This is why, I guess, I don't know what to do, man. Because I can't be in their live chat. Because if I'm in their live chat, if I'm on their live video, I don't mean to be disrespectful. And I'm not being disrespectful. All right? But bro, I cannot not say anything when my brethren are blaspheming the God that I actually truly love and serve and adore. Alright? The God that I got to know as all good. Okay? They keep blaspheming by blending good and evil, claiming that my God sends spirits upon people. My God sends evil spirits upon people. My God sends strong delusions. My God hardens hearts. And bro, I cannot be silent in the chat while they're saying these things, but yet they want to claim that I'm bringing contention. No, sir. Y'all are blaspheming my maker, and I realize it's your platform. So in order, I know we're supposed to like. Once you speak the truth and people don't want to accept the truth, you're supposed to dust off your feet and keep it moving. However, my Akis do have a lot of knowledge, according to the prophecies, and they have the money to go out here and purchase all of these books that I don't got the money to purchase, So, I get a lot of my information just flowing by way of the spirit on their channel. But I just, how do I even put this, man? It's like, I wish that we could collaborate. I wish that they would not reject me, but that they would embrace the higher clarity and understanding that I'm instructed in bringing. Instead of trying to continuously diminish me and mute me from the live chat, because is they say that I'm disturbing their project that they're doing, and possibly so. I did not mean to take up their time and all of that, but bro, y'all say that you look for reproof. You say that you want to be in the will of the true and living God. You say, and like they put a actual name on it. But nevertheless, I've heard my Aki say this. I heard him say that they don't have a problem with correction. They claim that. But if they truly didn't have a problem with correction, and they're always claiming for us to make videos. They say this with confidence and boldness at you Christians and you camper brews, that only stay in one book and you don't really have any clarity and or understanding. They say it with great confidence that y'all don't make videos, y'all don't prove anything that which you say. But here I'm over here proving all things by way of the Spirit, and yet they still ignore it. And they refuse to accept what I've been instructed in bringing forward. Okay, so walk in the light. All right, we write these things so that our joy may be complete. And this is the message we have heard from him and announced to you. Our God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all. If we say we have fellowship with him, yet walk in darkness, we lie and do not practice the truth. All right? It is important to practice the truth. Okay? You must practice what you speak. All right? Like how we live in such a superficial reality to where people are comfortable and complacent saying one thing and completely living contrary. Time is up for that. Okay? Because there are people who have been resurrected by way of the Spirit. I'm one of them. That is actually practicing the truth. We're practicing that which we speak. All right? John 8:12. Once again, Jesus spoke to the people and said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in the darkness, but will have the light of life. All right? Whoever follows me will never walk in the darkness. So clearly, even Yahushua HaMashiach, our big brother, is not mixed with darkness. He is light. He's the same light of benevolence, okay? Because the ever presence of benevolence is pure. It's not mixed with malevolence. It's not mixed with evil. Therefore, all his extensions that are obedient, we follow in that same light. We follow in that same righteousness. We follow in that same benevolence. And when we do, we never walk in the darkness. Okay? But we have the light of life. All right? The wicked want these things blended so that they can keep hiding. But time's up. Okay? You can no longer hide. Every good and perfect gift is from above. How is earning money for a living a good and perfect gift? No, that is the solution that the wicked offered after causing a problem. Okay? Problem, reaction, solution. Okay? They caused a problem by disenfranchising us, stripping away our livelihood, our heritage, our inheritance, all of our blessings, and then imposed their economic system. Okay? Here, you can participate in selfish ambition for your own self-preservation. That's not a good and or perfect gift that came from above. That came from the pits of hell. Okay? So stop blending it. You must acknowledge where this economic system came from. Quit acting like it came from the true and living God, so that you can keep holding on to your selfish mentality and heart condition. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, with whom there is no change or shifting shadow. Alright? The true and living God don't change into being evil just because people choose to be evil. John 1:4-5. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. The light that shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Not because of blood sacrifice, but because he came to teach and demonstrate how to keep the eternal life in mortality. To show us that it is certainly possible to keep that eternal law in mortality, regardless of how people treat you, regardless of what happens to you. Lay down your life for the truth. Alright? Many of you vainly confess that you would lay down your life for the true gospel. You vainly confess that. But you don't do that because you're earning your money for a living. Okay? I'm the one that's laying down my life for this true gospel because I'm not earning money for a living. And I go through a hell of a lot of long suffering because people are hardened within their heart condition and their mentality. They refuse to be generous unto me. They refuse to be compassionate unto me. They refuse to be loving unto me. They refuse to be kind-hearted unto me. Alright? I've lived this for over 3 years and I have a testimony. Alright? So the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom the hell shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Whom shall I dread? To leave this mortality, to leave this fleshly body, I will be in the presence of my Maker. I will be in the presence of the one who loved me. And I don't have no regrets. I have a clear conscience. For you were once in darkness. You were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. For the fruit of light consists in all goodness, righteousness, and truth. Not a blend. Okay? Is it a good thing to slaughter an animal, hearing its cries? Is it a good thing, people? Yes or no? You know damn well it's not a good thing. Is it a good thing to literally take an innocent life so that you can eat its dead body? Shed its blood so you can cook and enjoy its flesh? Is that righteousness? Is that the truth? Is that the eternal truth? No, it's not. It is a lie from the pit of hell. That it's okay to harm an innocent creature that feels pain. Also, you can enjoy its dead body. For the true and living God said, let light shine out of darkness. Made his light shine in our hearts to give us the light of the knowledge of the glory of the true and living God in the face of Hamashiach. For with the true and living God is the fountain of life. In his light we see light, not in what vain mortal men say. John 12:35 through 36. The Messiah told them, for a little while longer, the light will be among you. Walk while you have the light, so that darkness will not overtake you. The one who walks in the darkness does not know where he is going. This is why you have no clarity and or understanding. Christian, or any of you in your dogmatic religion, all right, you are walking in darkness, because none of your religions can give you any kind of clarity and or understanding. Therefore, you are blindly believing. And because you are blindly believing, you do not know where you are going. Okay? While you have the light, trust in the light, so that you may become sons of light. All right? Matthew 5:14 through 16. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a basket. Instead, they set it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds, your good fruit, your good actions, and then glorify your eternal Father in heaven. Okay? I don't seek the glory for myself. Okay? I seek to glorify my eternal Father, Mother. All right? Come, O house of Jacob, let us walk in the light of our God. Okay? Eternal benevolence, the one that is not mixed with malevolence. Quit claiming that our God does evil. Stop it. Okay? Quit it. Get that evil, get it out of your mentality. All right? Get it out of your heart condition. All right? Quit blending that. Come now, O house of Jacob, let us walk in the light of eternal benevolence. There will be no more night in the city, and they will have no need for the light of a lamp or of the sun, for the Lord God will shine on them, and they will reign forever and ever. Yeah, this is coming. We're ushering it in. Your word, the eternal living word, is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. All right? I am led via the Holy Spirit, which gives discernment of spirit. John 3:19 through 21. And this is the verdict. The light has come into the world, but men love the darkness rather than the light, because their deeds were and are evil. This is why they shun me, because their deeds are evil. Everyone who does evil hates the light. This is why I'm so hated. Why do you hate me? Because I walk in love. I have a heart of love, compassion, kindness, mercy, empathy, generosity, purity, chastity, holiness, righteousness. I am the complete opposite of everything within this system. Well, so why am I so hated? Because people love this world. They love the darkness of this world. They love their money and their materialistic things. I just spoke with my uncle last night, and it was kind of a disturbing conversation. Because my uncle is really under this strong delusion about this whole blood sacrifice. And, that is this whole economic system, all right? Don't want to deal with the root of the problem, all right, because he's attributing it to a blood sacrifice. Like it doesn't matter how the wicked took over the earth and all the resources, all right. Like they're all acquitted. They're all acquitted because Jesus shed his blood once and for all. This is the mentality of my uncle. All right. And then he made another statement that was very, very disturbing. Because we were talking about this economic system, and he was trying to equate it. He was trying to equate earning money for a living to like a bartering system. And I agreed that yes, if someone is growing corn, and they needed clothing, they could take that corn that they grew to somebody who makes clothing, and they could trade, corn for clothing. All right. And so I was kind of like agreeing with that, but then he didn't even stay on it long at all. It's like he jumped from that to saying, he jumped all the way from there to saying, but what, like, sometimes people don't want clothes. Sometimes people want something else, and or the people that's growing the corn don't want this or don't want that. And so in order to make it easier, they created a one currency where everybody can obtain this one currency, and they can trade this currency. All right, so he literally skipped all the way to why we have money. Okay, so we have money because now this is the new bartering system. All right, but so I said, but you're neglecting one thing. And you're neglecting one thing, Uncle. All right. Before, the bartering system was based on love and compassion and kindness and mercy and empathy. All right. We set the price, and we talked to our neighbors. We were bartering with people. We bartered. Okay. We actually could agree. Based on what we needed at the time. It was more compassionate. All right. Then to jump all the way from there to say, now this is one currency, there's this one value that mortal men have placed upon it, all right, and now you can use this currency to buy whatever you want, all right. And so, long story short, he was like, I said, is not based in love. And so he said, well, the person growing corn does not have to love me in order to get the clothing that they're needing. And so, I was taken aback, and I was like, so wow, you're perfectly okay with money replacing divine love. And this is what it is. Okay, money and the value thereof, all right, because you can get your materialistic things, you can get whatever you want and or need to please your fleshly body. That's replaced love within the heart condition and the mentality of humanity. And they don't, like my uncle and most people, don't see the subtle deception. You've been subtly deceived into caring more about your selfish desires than you do about your neighbor. And that's dangerous. Okay, so, and this is what it is. Everyone who does evil hates the light. And they want to hide their selfish heart condition. They want to hide their selfish mentality. All right, so they don't want to come into the light. Because if they come into the light, then their deeds will be exposed. Their selfish heart condition and mentality will be exposed. This is why I've received so much opposition. This is why I've received so much hatred. This is why most people ignore everything that I've been instructed to do by way of the Spirit. All right. They don't want the conviction. They don't want to come face to face with their demon of selfishness. All right. But whoever practices the truth, practices the truth, practices the truth, that means you're living the truth, comes into the light so that it may be seen clearly that what he has done has been accomplished in God. So I've been doing this, but people want to call it arrogance. All right. But I boast in my God. All right. I boast in my God because it's my God that has accomplished this within me. Okay. 1 John 3:11. For this is the message that you heard from the beginning, that we shall love one another. All right. This is the message that I'm bringing. All right. This is the message I've been instructed in bringing. Okay. For I have received of the Lord that which I delivered unto you, that the Lord, the Messiah, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread. Hold on, I'm not going to read that. Hold on. I thought I was going to say something else. Let's see. All right, here. A Psalm of David. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? I think I read this before up there. All it is okay, it's repeating. All right. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. All right. The Lord will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from them that walk uprightly. No good thing will he withhold from them that walk uprightly. Now, up there when I told you that earning money for a living is not a good thing, all right? That's true. However, someone who has prosperity of this money and abundance thereof, and goes in their abundance to help fill his tender-hearted vessels of mercy, those of us that are doing this spiritual work, this spiritual mission, when they help us, that is a good thing. Okay, that's a good thing that they would be doing, because that is out of real love. That is out of real compassion. That is out of real mercy, kindness, generosity, all of these good fruits of the Spirit. Okay, it is about the mentality and the heart condition, people. All right. See, you don't want to look at it from the aspect of loving one another as thyself. You keep wanting to look at it from the aspect that, oh, you just want to sit on your ass and have people take care of you. Like when people say this, you don't know, but you're literally casting off that which I've been instructed to do by way of the Spirit. And you're making it as if I am of no value. You're making it as if that which I've been instructed to do is of no value. You're making it like it's worthless. Like this spiritual clarity and understanding that I'm instructed to freely give. All right. You're saying with your mentality and your heart condition that it is of no value. Though I am not selling this, you're acting like I deserve to not have my bare necessities because I don't earn money. All right. Instead of earning money, instead of spending my time, energy, and effort earning money for my physical body, I'm spending my time, energy, and effort freely giving clarity and understanding. That is what you're needing for your real salvation. Okay? That which you're needing for your real salvation. your eternal salvation, your eternal welfare. Okay? And you keep acting like that's irrelevant. All right? Like you can't use what I've been instructed to give freely. Like you're acting like you can't use this. But you can't use it in this reality to buy anything for your flesh. All right? No, you can't use any of this spiritual clarity and understanding to buy to please your flesh. All right? You it's not that kind of currency. It's not that kind of wealth. All right? It's the eternal wealth. But you keep casting off the eternal wealth and acting like you don't have to use any of your physical wealth to help me in my mission in giving you eternal wealth. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. So it is a good thing for people to be obedient. All right? Because this is what he is not going to withhold from those that walk uprightly. Understand, we're going to get back every single thing that's been stolen from us anyway. Okay? It's just that right now, he's giving you an opportunity to do righteously. Okay? You are to do righteously with your prosperity, people. Our God gave you centuries to enjoy your prosperity in selfishness and greed. If you ask me, you're getting a sweet deal. Okay? My God is giving you a sweet deal. Okay? For the eyes of the Lord are on all the righteous, and his ears are inclined to our prayer. All right? But all you wicked people that's doing evil, you are not going to have the protection of our God. All right? When you spread out your hands in prayer, he ain't listening to you. He ain't looking at you. All right? Even though you multiply your prayers, he ain't listening to you. Because your hands are covered with blood. That's all of you participating in the economic system, and you have abundance, and yet you refuse to help his faithful servants. Okay? You got blood on your hands if you are participating in purchasing innocent animals, eating their dead bodies and or their dead body parts. All right? Do you not know that the wicked will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived. Neither the sexually immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor men who submit to and or perform sodomy. Okay? Sodomy is about sodomy. It's not about who you're attracted to. Okay? It's about that which you do. All right? If you're out here sodomizing, and it could be same sex or opposite sex. Sodomy is not exclusive to the same sex. Okay? There's oral sodomy. All right? I'm not going to get graphic on here, people. You know what oral sodomy is. Okay? You know what going in the back door is. Okay? You don't have to be the opposite sex to do that. Okay? It's sodomy. Okay? So quit acting like people who are simply just attracted and or have a little bit more feminine characteristics if they're born in a male body because they're, got feminine qualities. You want to claim that they're gay. You want to claim that they're homosexual, and you want to freaking condemn them. All right, you may be wrong. Okay, they don't have to be engaging in sexual immorality. All right, I got a lot of masculine qualities. All right, but I'm celibate. Okay, I was born in a female body with masculine qualities, but I am celibate. Okay? So many people have been wrong about me. Or you're summing people up on surface level superficially. You gotta quit doing that. Okay? So this homosexual act Okay, it should say sodomizing acts. All right, acts of sodomy. All right, so, nor thieves, nor the greedy. Okay, nor the selfish or drunkards, nor verbal abusers, nor swindlers. None of these people will inherit the kingdom of the true and living God. Okay, this is many people. All right, many people are doing this. You know how many people are committing these sodomizing acts? That consider themselves to be straight. They consider themselves to be straight, and they pride themselves in being straight, but yet they're committing these sexual immoral acts. The immoral act of sodomy. You don't have to be the same sex to sodomize. Okay, that is not exclusive to whom you want to call gay people and are homosexuals. All right, it is not a sin to be a homosexual. It is a sin to participate in sexual immorality. All right. There are 6 things that the eternal benevolence detests. Okay, 6 things that eternal benevolence does not like. Okay, 6 things he absolutely despises. All right. 7 that are detestable. All right, haughty eyes. All right, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood. It's not that he despises the person, but he despises these acts. All right, these deeds. A heart that devises evil schemes, feet that run swiftly to evil. All right, let's go back to this hands that shed innocent blood. All right, why would he send his only begotten son to the earth to be a blood sacrifice? Wouldn't he be one that has hands of bloodshed because he didn't sent his son here to be a blood sacrifice? See, that's blasphemous. He did no such thing. All right, wicked mortal men murdered him. Wicked mortal men labeled it a human sacrifice. All right, so quit acting like the true and living God sent his son here to be a blood sacrifice to cover the sins of the world. That's not what he did. Okay, I got many videos breaking that down. All right, there ain't no such thing as the wrath of God. What they want to call the wrath of God is judgment. All right, and that judgment is that you will reap what you sow. And those who chose to sow evil, evil is what they're going to reap. That is not the wrath of God. That's the wrath of their own iniquity. Okay? But it's being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of men who suppress the truth by their wickedness. Okay? They want to keep blending this so they can keep hiding. All right? Surely the arm of the true and living God is not too short to save, nor his ear too dull to hear. But your iniquities have built barriers between you and your God, and your sins have hidden his face from you so that he does not hear. All right, I think I read that earlier. All right, understand that we are the ones that detach ourselves from our God. All right, Ephesians 5:5. For of this you can be sure, no immoral, impure, or greedy person. Okay, it doesn't. There is plus that is an idolater. Okay, because if greedy, period. All right, greed is a demon. All right, so if you have the demon of greed, you are not going to inherit the kingdom of God. All right, you don't have any inheritance in the kingdom of the Hamashiach and nor of the true and living God. All right. No, the Lord does not test us. All right. The wicked test us, but the Lord does view our heart condition and our mentality while we're being tested. He just cannot tolerate a soul that is a lover of violence. All right, doesn't mean he hates. Okay, he just does not. He can't tolerate that. Okay, it's a lover of violence. Okay, nothing unclean will ever enter it, nor anyone who practices an abomination or a lie. Only those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life. The Lamb's book of life is your life. Okay? Your life. That which you've done throughout your life. Okay? Alright, Psalms 50:21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silent, that thou is that what? These things hast thou done, and I kept silent. Let me go to a different version, bro, cause they tripping. I'm seeing all these these and thous and like, let's see. I'm at 1:30, people. An hour and 30 minutes. The mighty one calls. Okay. Okay. While I did all of this, I remained silent, and you thought I didn't care. But now I will rebuke you, listing all my charges against you. Wow, thank you, Father. That makes a lot more sense. All right, hold on. You sit and malign your brother. You slander your own mother's son. While you did all this, I remained silent. All right? While these wicked people came over here to our lands, raping, robbing, murdering, plundering, pillaging, destroying, literally disenfranchising us, reclassifying the remnant, all right, indoctrinating us, all right, forcefully miseducating us, all right, and imposing upon us a wicked ass system. While they did all of this, our God remained silent. Okay? While they did all of this, they thought that our God didn't care. All right? But now, our God is rebuking you through us as we speak this truth by way of the Spirit. All right, listing all these charges against you because we are the living witnesses. Let's see. Now consider this, you who forget God, lest you be torn to pieces with no one to rescue you. All right? Understand you about to be torn to pieces by the malevolent forces. And our God is not going to rescue you. Okay? Let's see. How did I... Okay. All right. First Chronicles 29:17. I know also, my God, that thou looks at the heart and has pleasure in uprightness. As for me, in the uprightness of my heart, I have willingly offered all these things. And now I have seen with joy thy people, which are present here, to offer willingly unto thee. All right, I've yet to see this. All right, I'm only here. All right, as for me, in the uprightness of my heart, I have willingly offered all these things. All right, for the past 4 years and full time for the past 3 years, I've done this. But I've yet to, I've yet to see people show love for what, the Father has had me do. Okay. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? Like they literally act like these words of the heathen is really inspired by the true and living God. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. Surely the righteous shall give thanks unto my name. The upright shall dwell in thy presence. All right, Psalms 140:13. Surely the righteous shall give thanks unto the true and living God's name. That is loving kindness, benevolence. All right, the upright shall dwell in thy presence. Okay, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. All right, let's see. So we went over that. We're at an hour and 35 minutes. I didn't know it was going to take me this long. Let's see. 1 Peter 3:12. I kind of want to keep this up too. Turning from evil. Okay? So all of this is dealing with who the true and living God is using these days. Okay? Because people are confused. You keep listening to those who set themselves up in authority. Okay? You keep listening to the Caucasians. Alright? You keep listening to those who is like that CIA director, that said, we'll know when our disinformation program is complete. Alright? You need to realize that these wicked people have imposed their evil. Alright? You need to turn from evil. Okay? He must turn from evil and do good. He must seek peace and pursue it. Okay? It's not about vain lip service, people. Alright? For the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are inclined to our prayer. Alright? None of you wicked people are able to get anything from our God because you are doing evil. Okay? The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. Why you people keep acting like there's not a separation between the wicked and the righteous? Why do you keep acting like there's not a separation between the wheat and the tares? And my Akis, they're acting like the righteous are those that just are in the truth. The righteous are those that are just in the knowledge, that have the book knowledge. All right, but they're casting off the spiritual clarity. All right, the spiritual elevation. Okay, the elevation in the spirit and in truth. All right. So they're still blending these things. They're still blending the wicked and the righteous. All right, they're acting like they're wheat because they have knowledge. All right, they have the truth of real history. All right, they're acting like that's wheat, and it is a part of the wheat. But also the wheat are able to accept reproof. Don't you know that wheat bows when it's mature? Tares don't bow. So if you refuse to bow to the spirit of truth, which brings reproof, then you are not wheat, even though you have truth of the prophecy. Okay? Tares won't bow to the reproof. If you are actually wheat, then you will bow to the reproof. Okay? We know that God does not listen to sinners, but he does listen to the one who worships him and does his will. That is John 9:31. All right? 2 Chronicles 16:9. All right? For the eyes of the true and living God roam to and fro all over the earth to show himself strong on behalf of those whose hearts are fully devoted to him. Now, if you're earning money for a living, How the hell can your heart be fully devoted to the true and living God that did not create money? Um, Practically all of humanity has their heart and mentality devoted to their money. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve the true and living God and money. Okay? So why you mad at me, people? Why you mad at why you mad at the fact that my heart is fully devoted to the God who I say I'm trusting in? Why are you mad that my heart is fully devoted to the God whom I'm serving? Why are you mad that my heart is fully devoted to the God I say I love and worship? Why are you mad that my heart is fully devoted to the one whom I've pledged my allegiance, my obedience? What makes you think you can determine my fate? All of you have acted foolishly in this manner. From now on, therefore, you will be at war. Okay? Because you keep coming against those of us who have our hearts devoted to the true and living God. And He's going to show Himself strong on our behalf. You want to call us weak? That's fine. Our God is going to use our weakness to show Himself strong. And I'm good with that. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, observing the evil and the good. If I had cherished iniquity in my heart, the Lord would not have listened. But the true and living God has surely heard. He has attended to the sound of my prayer. Clearly, I'm still here. Barely. I've been marred. I've been roughed over. I've had to long suffer. I'm still long suffering. Okay? But nevertheless, my God is sustaining me. James 4:6, He gives us more grace. This is why it says God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. We are the ones that ask and it will be given unto us. We are the ones that seek and will find. We're the ones that knock and the door will be opened unto us. Because we have to be obedient. Okay? Hey, you can claim you're seeking. And you can claim you done found. You can claim you knocked. Alright? But the door ain't gonna open for you unless you are obedient. Okay? You can seek. Alright? There's many people that you know, really, I ain't gonna take it away from that they've you know, sought for the true and living God. Alright? But most of the time, when people seek for the true and living God, and that spirit of truth is sent, alright, to reprove them of their iniquity. Because understand, people, when you seek, you got to go within yourself. Alright, the kingdom is within you. Okay, so you know you got to go into the inner chambers of your conscience. Alright, and that is the spirit of truth. That is the reproof. Okay, once you and it could be loud. Alright, it's letting you know of your gross iniquity, your gross transgressions. Most people run at that point. Alright, when you seek the true and living God, and you are faced with a reproof of the spirit of truth, alright, Most people run because they don't want to deal with their transgression. All right? And because they don't want to deal with their transgression and overcome it, that door does not open. Okay? So therefore they run away and they pretend like they were able to enter in. Okay? For everyone who and they pretend like they're receiving what they asked for. Because there's a counterfeit. There's a counterfeit God that gives them everything that they could ever want and or need in their fleshly mortal body. All right, and they claim that this God is giving them, they claim that God is giving them whatever they want and or need. All right, and so now they claim that they found what they were seeking. All right, and they're attributing that to the true and living God, even though it is the counterfeit God. All right, and so they think that they found what they were seeking, all right? Because now they're able to please their fleshly mortal body, all right? But they don't understand that they've been subtly deceived, okay? They think that they knocked on the door and the door was open unto them, all right? This is many people. Many people seriously think that they knocked on the door of heaven and the door was open unto them because they were able to earn their money for a living and they're able to build a successful life for themselves, and all it is, voila, I'm prosperous, I'm a prosperous Christian. These are these evangelical Christians that seriously believe that they're saved by the blood of Jesus. All right? The door was never open for these people. Okay? The door, it only opens for the obedient. It opened for me. But guess what? I don't have prosperity. I don't have physical prosperity. But I have the clarity and the understanding that many of these charlatans are vainly confessing. They vainly confess that they have the clarity and the understanding. How, Sway? When they were not able to enter into the inner chambers of the kingdom. They ran away from the reproof by way of the Spirit. I didn't run away from that reproof. The Lord is near to all who call on him, and to all who call out to him in truth. He fulfills the desires of those who reverence him. He hears our cry and saves us. He does not save the wicked. Whoever turns his ear away from hearing the law, the eternal law, even his prayer is detestable. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. There's only a certain group of people that he's listening to. All right? And that is his obedient, tender-hearted vessels of mercy that's living what we speak. You will seek me and find me when you search for me with all of your heart. How can you search for him with all of your heart when you're spending your time, energy, and effort earning money? That's an impossibility. You're not seeking and or searching for him with all your heart. Okay? Because your heart is divided with spending your time, energy, and effort obtaining money that wicked mortal men established for your fleshly body. Okay? But me, I've been doing this with my whole heart. I sought him my whole dang life. Alright? I found him. Alright? I found him when I searched for him with all my heart. Okay? And I've been instructed by him. Okay? Let us then approach the throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. This is how I can trust that my God will sustain me. All right? Because I know that I'm not in transgression of his eternal law of divine love. I'm knowledgeable of that. Okay, I am connected to his spirit. I would know if I was in transgression. I would be convicted within my conscience. All right, I would be disturbed within my spirit. Okay, but yet I have the peace of his spirit. So because I have the peace of his spirit, I know that I can depend upon my God. Okay? Okay. Second Chronicles 16:9 again. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole world to show himself strong in behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him. Okay? Herein many people have done foolishly against us by mistreating us. All right? See, you want to cast away you want to cast away the pure of heart. Like, you want to act like we don't exist. Proverbs 15:8 through 29. Okay, well, just Proverbs 15:8. Okay, the sacrifice of the wicked. Okay, the sacrifice of the wicked. The sacrifice of the wicked is spilling innocent blood. All right, and claiming that that comes from the true and living God. That is an abomination to the true and living God. All right, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. Okay, our God don't do the same thing as the wicked. Okay, the righteous don't do the same thing as the wicked. Okay, if the wicked live by the sword, if the wicked purchase man-made mortal weapons and they protect themselves with man-made mortal weapons, how the hell can you call yourself righteous when you're doing the same thing? No, you are a hypocrite. Okay, if the wicked spend their time, energy, and effort in selfish ambition for their own self-preservation and all of these things, and then when they have abundance of that which they selfishly obtained, what makes you righteous? What makes you people think you're righteous when you're doing the same thing? When you have no love, when you have no compassion, when you have no kindness, mercy, empathy to share out of your abundance of that which you have obtained. Okay? When you're doing the same actions as the wicked, you cannot claim that you are righteous. Okay? And see, they left off the flesh, because you can't separate the blood from the flesh. All right, they corrupted our scriptures. Leviticus 17:10. And whatsoever man there be of the house of the Yahudim, or of the strangers that sojourn among us, that are cleaving among us, cleaving unto us, any that eateth any manner of blood, all those that eat any manner of flesh and or blood. All right, you will set your face against the true and living God. All right, your soul is against the true and living God. The soul that eateth flesh and blood is against the true and living God. All right, and you will be cut off from among your people. Okay, there's many receipts that this connects to. Okay, this connects to the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. I bring it out so many times. I'm not going to bring it out right now. Okay, I may be bringing it out again later. All right, but for right now, I'm not gonna bring it out, because you can watch my previous videos. I just did a video the other day that mentioned this. Okay. All right. Leviticus 23:6, I guess, or 3. And I will set my face against that man, and will cut him off among his people, because he has given his seed unto Moloch. All right. Now, in these days, giving your seed unto Moloch, that could be getting an abortion, All right, that could be sending your kids to the public school systems. Okay, that could be sending your child off to boot camp. All right, or you need to do some research on those who are in control of this system. Okay, this could also be taking your children to church. All right, for imposing religion upon them. Okay, this could also be rearing them up in disobeying the commandments of the true and living God. You're feeding them animals' flesh. Okay, there's many things that I know I'm stepping on a whole bunch of people's toes, man. All right, I realize I'm pissing a lot of people off, but I'm gonna keep being obedient to that which I'm instructed to speak by way of the Spirit. Okay, so this is so that you can turn from these transgressions. You can't keep being complacent in evil, in wickedness, and think that you're going to be saved from it when you're a participant in it. Okay, no, you're going to be swaddled up in it. You're going to be swaddled up in the destruction thereof. I am to give you what you need to come out of her, my people, so that you be not destroyed, so that you be not a partaker of her iniquity. Now, if you don't want to take heed, that's on you. Don't take heed. Keep ignoring that which I've been instructed to speak. Keep blaming me. Keep acting like I'm the problem. And the problem ain't evil. The problem ain't this wicked ass system. The problem ain't all of you who have been complacent in gross wickedness. Alright. All of this has been happening. Defiling his sanctuary. Alright? And profaning his holy name. Which is loving kindness, benevolence, all things good. You set your face against him. You make yourselves adversaries against him. Therefore you will be slain by your enemies. Alright? They that hate you shall reign over you. Now these malevolent forces hate humanity. Alright? Satan ain't your friend. Lucifer ain't your friend. Okay? These fallen angels ain't your friend. They hate you. Alright, just like these worst of the heathen that came over here to our lands, they hate us. Those who set themselves up in authority over us, they hate us. Okay? They hate the tender-hearted vessels of mercy. They hate the people of the true and living God. Well, guess what? These malevolent forces, Lucifer, Azazel, these fallen angels, they hate humanity. They hate mankind. They hate those of us that are in the fleshly body. Okay? But guess what? They're about to claim hold of their subjects. Okay? The angels of torture. Alright? And they're not gonna be able to get away from these malevolent angels. Okay, they're not gonna be able to get away from the malevolent angels, just like they can't get away from us. All right, and the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles, in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep. Who, if he go through, both tread it down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. Okay, this is by way of the Spirit. This connects to he will give us a mouth with wisdom, where none of our adversaries are able to gainsay. None of our adversaries are able to resist that which we've been instructed to speak by way of the Spirit. This gives the faithful ones confidence in prayer. All right, so I don't got to get validation or confirmation from mortal men. No, I can be fully confident in the God that I pledged my allegiance. Okay, let's go to 2 Thessalonians 1:4. Okay. 2 Thessalonians 1:4. Oh, and it's coming up too. I'm probably gonna keep this up for a little bit. Let's see. We are obligated to thank the true and living God for you all the time, brothers, as is fitting, because your faith is growing more and more, and your love for one another is increasing. That is why we boast among God's churches about your perseverance and faith in the face of all the persecution and affliction you are enduring. Okay? All this is clear evidence of God's righteous judgment, and so you will be counted worthy of the kingdom of God, for which you are suffering. Okay? How many of you that are earning your money for a living suffering? You are not suffering. You're saving yourself from suffering, and you're having no compassion upon those of us who are suffering. And we're suffering not so that we can depend upon other people to take care of us. No, we're suffering for the sake of this true gospel. We're suffering because we are in opposition to evil. Money is not my God. Therefore, I should not be forced to put my time, energy, and effort earning a false God. Okay? That's why I suffer. Not so people can take care of me. But the fact that you people have an abundance of necessities that's required to sustain our fleshly body, and you refuse to show compassion, that's on you people. All right? That's on you. All right? And you're causing our suffering, but guess what? We're suffering for righteousness' sake. Okay? And the longer you people increase our suffering by holding on to selfishness and greed, upholding this wicked ass system of economic slavery, and are forcing us to literally go without our bare necessities because we refuse to be complacent with earning money for a living, you need to understand what you're doing. Okay? Our faith is more precious than gold. All right? We are refined by this fire. All right? That means that it melts the gold and it gets refined. Okay? And it causes it to be pure gold. All right? It's purified. Okay? This is what you're causing when you keep shutting up your bowels of compassion. And we're just like forced to suffer in this fire of affliction, being forced to go without our necessities because we don't have money. We have patient endurance. All right? Those who are the true servants of the true and living God, we suffer with him. We suffer with the Messiah. We suffer with all the disciples, all the righteous prophets. We suffer with all the martyrs in the Inquisition. And we're suffering unto this day in this satanic system. It ain't changed. So we are the ones. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for ours is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. All right? That is because of the promised anointed one who came to teach us. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets before you. We are the ones who have been given this clarity and understanding to give unto humanity. Okay? Exodus, hold on, let me bring that back up right quick. As a matter of fact, because I wanted to make sure something. Because I moved so quick, I wanted to make sure we read to 5. Let me go back here. Let's see. 5. This was pointing out till 7. Alright. After all, it is only right for God to repay with affliction to those who afflict you. Okay? Now, it's not our God that's afflicting anybody. But our God did establish that eternal law that, you will reap what you've sown. Okay? Everybody's going to reap what they've sown. All right? So, and that's justice. Okay? It's only right for our God to allow those who afflicted us to be afflicted. Okay? And to grant relief to those of us who are oppressed. Okay? All who are oppressed. Alright? This will take place when the Lord is revealed from heaven with his mighty angels. Alright? In blazing fire, inflicting vengeance on those who do not know God and who do not obey the gospel of the Hamashiach. See how I told you in another video that he is coming with a host of heaven. Alright? You need to understand the reapers are coming along with our big brother. Okay? Our big brother ain't gonna freaking do no evil. None of the benevolent righteous ones, righteous host of heaven is gonna do any evil. Okay? You're not understanding that there's different levels. All right. So you got the reapers who are coming to reap, get rid of the tares. They're going to pluck up the tares. All right. They're going to be able to claim hold of their portion. You need to understand that there's 2 different kinds coming. All right. There's 2 different, I guess if you want to call them aliens. Okay, people want to call them aliens. People want to call them UFOs and all of these things. But these are the angelic host. Okay, you get the malevolent angelic host. Okay, and you get the righteous angelic host, the benevolent angelic host. The benevolent ones are coming to protect. The malevolent ones are coming to claim hold of their portion, their victims. Okay, now. That's the angels of torture. That's the reapers, okay? The reapers are coming, all right? And they're going to be the ones that's going to be inflicting this vengeance on all those who do not know eternal benevolence, all right? And refuse to obey the true gospel, all right? They will suffer the penalty of eternal destruction, separated from the presence of eternal benevolence and the glory of his might, because his might is protection, all right? The true and living God's might is protection. Alright? Not destruction. Alright? The adversary comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Okay? But if you want protection, then you must be obedient. That's how you get the might of the true and living God as divine protection. Alright? On the day he comes to be glorified in his saints and regarded with wonder by all who have obeyed, including you who have had faith in our testimony, okay? Who trusted in our testimony, all right? Let's see. To this end, we always pray for you, that our God will count you worthy of his calling, and that he will powerfully fulfill your every good desire and work of faith Okay, so that the name, loving kindness, righteousness, benevolence of our Redeemer will be glorified in you, and you in him, according to the grace of our God and of Yahushua HaMashiach, who came to dedicate his life from birth all the way unto death, teaching and demonstrating how to keep the eternal law of love in this mortal existence. Okay? So we got all of that. Exodus 14:10. I need water. Man. We're after 2 hours now, people. As Pharaoh approached, the Israelites looked up and saw the Egyptians marching after them, and they were terrified and cried out to the Lord. Let's see, what else is there? Let me roll this on down here. Exit, okay, and then go to 15. Hold on. Parting the Red Sea. Then the Lord said to Moses, why are you crying out to me? Tell the Israelites to go forward, okay? As for you, lift up your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it, so that the Israelites can go through the sea on dry ground. All right, he does not harden the hearts of the Egyptian. See, this is the manipulation that they've done in our scriptures, and this is why my brethren keep saying things like our God hardens the hearts of the wicked. No, our God does not. The Egyptians were puffed up in their pride and their arrogance. All right, that's why their hearts were hardened. All right, a hardened heart will keep you from perceiving any kind of spiritual clarity and or understanding. Our God wants you to get the clarity and understanding so that you will be obedient. Okay, so why would our God harden the like that? It just, bro, y'all need to quit blending this. Okay, y'all need to understand that they did this on purpose in our scriptures. Okay. All right, let's go to verse 30. So I'm supposed to stop verse 15. Okay. So yeah, just here. All right. So I'm to part the sea. I'm actually, I'm instructed to go first because I'm one of the first fruits. Okay, so I have to go first. I'm a harbinger of this truth. Okay, so that way those who are following behind, they won't have to go through as much opposition as I had to go through. Okay, they won't receive as much persecution. All right, they won't be drowned in the waters. All right, and like I'm the one that's instructed to part this sea and go forward. All right, let's see. All right, 30. Okay. That day the Lord saved Israel from the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dead on the shore. That's what's coming. Our God is going to save us. And as our God is saving us, we're going to look and we're going to see that the wicked have destroyed themselves. Okay? And when Israel saw the great power that the Lord has exercised by saving us, and the reason why it says over the Egyptians is because the Egyptians had no power over us. All right, they could not harm us. When our God says that your time is up, you can't do anything against his people. Okay, that's what it is. That is the great power that our God has to shield us from evil. Okay, then the people feared the Lord and believed in him. Well, reverenced. Okay, the people reverenced the Lord and trusted in him and in his servant Moses. All right, but as we all know, it was only short lived. Okay, because our people are stiff necked as hell. All right. Uh, James 5:4. I think we read that as we were going through the Bible Hub. Oh no, we didn't read this. Okay, warning to the rich. All right, your gold and silver are corroded. Your corrosion will testify against you and consume your flesh like fire. You have hoarded treasure in the last days. Have they not done it? This is why they're walking around here all prosperous. All right, look at the wages you withheld from the workmen who mowed your fields, are crying out against you. All right, so many lawsuits. All right, hell, my apartment complex. Well, I don't want to say too much, but the owners, the former owners of this apartment complex where I'm at, millennial housing or whatever the hell, they're under a lawsuit right now. All right, they're being sued by many companies. Okay, right now. They have yet to get an exterminator out here for over a year. Okay, for over a year they have not gotten an exterminator out here. All right, and they're telling us that it's because of money issues. All right. Well, the reason why I found this out much later was just the other day, not too long ago, like last week sometime. I just found out through one of the residents, and she was researching it. She was looking it up. She was showing me. All right, she looked it up and she showed me the lawsuits that millennial housing is going through. Even the manager, the manager that was here, all right, has been suspended. Okay, so right now, the people who had control of this housing here where I'm at, they're under fire right now. All right, they're receiving they're like there's things happening, okay, because there's money that has been embezzled. Okay, there's companies that have not received their money. All right, they have not paid these companies. Okay, they owe the pest control people. They owed the lawn people. All right, they had owed many of these companies. All right, and they hadn't been paying their bills. All right, so things are just falling apart. Okay. Now, this is connecting to these scriptures, all right? Look at the wages you withheld from the workmen who mowed your fields, are crying out against you, all right? The cries of the harvesters have reached the ears of the Lord of hosts, all right? You have lived on earth in luxury and self-indulgence. You have fattened your hearts in the day of slaughter, all right? So they've already gotten their time. They already got their time, okay? They got their time to enjoy all of their prosperity. They got their time to enjoy it, okay? All right? You have lived on earth in luxury and self-indulgence, okay? Yes, they have. All right? All of these scriptures are against you. All right. Woe to him who builds his palace by unrighteousness and his upper rooms without justice. They have yet to give us justice. We have not received any justice since they came over here violently invading our lands, taking away our livelihood, all right, taking away our way of living, okay, disenfranchising us, all right, all of these things that they've done unto us. All right, they've yet to give us justice. All right, who makes his countrymen serve without pay and fails to pay their wages. All right, oppressing the poor to enrich oneself, or giving gifts to the rich who will surely lead to poverty. This is what they've been doing all of this damn time. They've been taking from the poor to give to the rich. All right. Do not withhold good from the deserving when it's within your power to act. Those of you who have an abundance of life-sustaining resources, necessities, you are not to withhold these things from the tender-hearted vessels of mercy that's genuinely walking in our assigned spiritual mission. All right? Because you have the power to relieve our suffering. That's what it's about, people. That's what it's about. Do not tell your neighbor, come back tomorrow and I will provide, when you already have the means. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah are the plant of his delight. He looked for justice, but saw bloodshed, for righteousness, but heard a cry of distress. Okay? Our God is looking for you to overturn your transgressions, but you keep acting like you're saved by the blood of Jesus. You are refusing to use your time frame wisely. You keep casting off the spiritual clarity and understanding as if we're irrelevant. Okay? You are in ignorance. Okay? You're pissing away your opportunity. Because while our God is looking for you to show justice, while our God is looking for you to do good with the abundance of your prosperity, you keep casting us off. You keep turning your ear away from the cry of the poor. Therefore, our God is looking for justice, but he keeps seeing bloodshed. Our God is looking for you to be righteous, but he is hearing the cry of our distress. And you think that he's going to continue to allow you wicked people to continuously live in luxury and self-indulgence after he done already allowed you to fatten your hearts in a day of slaughter? He allowed you to get your prosperity. He allowed you to even enjoy your prosperity. And now that we're giving you the clarity and understanding, you want to hold on to all your prosperity and look your nose down upon his tender-hearted vessels of mercy. Woe be unto you and all your prosperity, for it's about to flood away from you quickly. Hear this, you who trample the needy, who do away with the poor of the land. What are they doing now? We're trying to do something with the homeless. We're taking care of the homeless problem. You refuse to deal with the root of the problem, and that is the economic system. The homeless is not the problem. The problem is that you are requiring people to pay money in order to have a roof over their head. All of you who set yourselves up in authority, you are to be providing for us with that which you stole from us. We should not have to spend our time, energy, and effort earning your currency in order to pay it unto you to get what your forefathers have stolen from us. No, it's your job to provide it unto us if you are really righteous. Okay? We have been given into your hands. We are prisoners of war in this system. Therefore, we are your slaves. You enslaved us. You took away our land. You took away our inheritance. You took away everything that we were. Therefore, we're vulnerable. We're in your hands. You have physical might over us. Therefore, you are to do what is fair and righteous. Since you know that there is a master above this false ass reality. You know that there is a creator of this heaven, of the heavens and the earth. Quit acting like there ain't a higher power outside of this false ass reality of earning money for a living. The wages of the worker are not credited as a gift, but as an obligation. People earn their money for a living expecting to be paid the reward of money. That's an obligation. It's not a gift. You're not doing them a favor. Many of you bosses, you act like you're doing us a favor. And see, that's the thing. Whenever I had to fill out job applications and all of these things, it's like we gotta sell ourselves. We gotta prove ourselves to these employers that we'll be, just that we actually really have a heart after this damn money, okay? That we'll do anything for this money. It's competitive. All right? It's dealing with your heart condition and your mentality. What you gonna do for this money? What can I get you to do for this money? How hard are you gonna work for me for this money? That's why they're puffed up in their pride and their arrogance, calling themselves your boss. They're the boss. The boss of a seat. They're the CEO of a company. They're a made man. All right? They got slaves working for them. Bro, I be tired, okay? Like, y'all don't want to deal with the false ass reality, okay? And that ain't my problem. All right? John 9:31. Trying to get through this, okay? You need to understand, okay? All these scriptures I'm going over is the separation between the righteous from the wicked, okay? We know that our God does not listen to sinners, but he does listen to the one who truly worships him. And the highest form of worship is obedience. We are the ones that do his will. All right? So we're the ones that he's working with. Not you people who are giving vain lip service. All right? 1 Peter 3:10 through 12. Turning from evil again, okay? Because I brung this up already. Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. All right? My brethren want to look at me like I'm foolish because, they claim that if someone was to hit them, they gonna get in that business and they gonna do work on the person that violated their right to be hit. All right? And I tell them, if someone hit me, hey, they use their free agency to violate my right to not be hit, okay, to not have that done unto me. All right, but am I gonna repay evil for evil? Am I gonna engage in a full-blown fist fight now because somebody then walked up and hit me? If somebody slaps me, am I gonna slap them back? No. I'll probably be like, why would you do that? All right, so I don't repay evil with evil or insult with insult, but blessing. All right, because to this you were called, so that you may inherit a blessing. This is how we inherit the blessing, people. You don't get the crown of salvation. You don't get a crown when you act just like the wicked, simply because the wicked do evil to you. Now you gonna become evil and do evil unto, like, bro, you just conformed, okay? That's what you chose to do. You chose to conform, all right? I don't choose to conform. All right, people got their free agency. People have every right to do whatever the hell they want to do with their free agency. But I have every right to do what I want to do with my free agency. All right? For whoever would love life and see good days must keep his tongue from evil and his lips from deceitful speech. All right? And his actions from evil. He must turn from evil and do good. He must seek peace and pursue it. All right? That is what it is. Turning from evil. You know, what? Like, why you people keep wanting to blend it? All right? Turning from evil. Finally, all of you, be like-minded and sympathetic. Love as brethren. Be tender-hearted and humble. This is who I am. I'm tender-hearted and humble to my God. Okay? I don't humble down to the vain opinions of mortal men. Okay? I don't repay evil with evil. I don't insult with insult. Okay? I sow good seeds of blessing. Okay? Because of this we were called, so that we may inherit a blessing. For whoever would love life and see good days must keep his tongue from evil and his lips from deceitful speech. He must turn from evil and do good. He must seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of the true and living God are on the righteous, and his ears are inclined to our prayer. All right? But the wicked who are doing evil, he ain't listening to them. All right? He ain't working with them. That means he ain't working with those who set up and established this satanic ass system. He is not working and or listening to those who are upholding this wicked ass system. He is only listening to those of us in opposition to this wicked ass system and are being obedient. Okay? Now, who can harm you if you are zealous for what is good? Suffering for righteousness. This is exactly what I've been doing. But even if you should suffer for what is right, you are blessed. Do not fear what they fear. Okay? So I am not to fear being homeless. I am not to fear being without my bare necessities and my wants and needs. Okay? Do not be shaken. But in your hearts, sanctify Christ as Lord. All right? Always be prepared to give a defense to anyone, everyone who asks you the reason for the hope that is in you. Okay? But respond with gentleness and respect. And I have done this. Okay? I've always given a response and a reason to why I'm doing what I'm doing. All right. And it's been in gentleness and it's been with respect, especially when it's in person. Okay. Keeping a clear conscience. All right. So that those who slander you may be put to shame by your good behavior in the Hamashiach. For it is better, if it is God's will, to suffer for doing good than for doing evil. All right? So it's not that my God wants me to suffer, but my God is pleased with my sacrifice, because my sacrifice is in opposition to compliance to evil. Okay? For Christ also suffered, all right, not for sins, but because of sin. All right, he suffered because of sin. All right, he suffered for the sake of his spiritual mission. All right, and it was not received by the wicked. All right. But nevertheless, he followed through with his mission. And he said, my sheep hear my voice and they follow. Okay, so he was not a blood sacrifice. He was put to death in the fleshly body, but he was made alive in the spirit. Okay, same as me. All right. I did not actually physically die. All right, for real. But I have crucified my lower carnal nature. All right, and I choose to um, go through all the suffering within this physical mortality in the physical fleshly body and walk in the spirit. Okay, in whom he also went and preached to the spirits in prison who disobeyed long ago when the father or no when the eternal father mother waited patiently in the days of Noah while the ark was being built. All right, so he was able to release those who had been in Sheol all of that time, give them an option to be obedient. Okay, and hold on. Let's see. All right. So, we'll get more understanding on that later. I just really wanted to get the suffering for righteousness because you people seem to think that, we don't have to suffer for righteousness. That you seem to think that Christ came to suffer for us so that we don't have to suffer. All right. That's the erroneous mentality. Y'all think he came to die for you so you don't have to die. You think he came to, suffer all the inflictions and affirmities and all of these things so that you don't have to go through them. But he said, my sheep hear my voice and they follow. He said, my sheep, if any desire to follow me, pick up his cross and follow me. So what the hell makes you people think that you don't have to suffer any of the calamities, any of the problems that all of his servants have to endure? Y'all been under a strong delusion, okay? This is our motive to live righteously, so that we receive his divine protection and so that we are delivered from the hands of the wicked. That is real salvation, okay? All of you wicked have been warned all of this time, okay? And none of you are able to gainsay. All right, we're treading you in pieces with the word by way of the Spirit, that living word by way of the Spirit. All right, in those days the children shall begin to study the eternal laws and seek the true commandments and return to the narrow path of righteousness. All right, I had begun studying his laws back in 2016 and now it's 2025. Okay, so that's a long time that I've been elevating in the Spirit and in truth. All right, we are the ones that he is going to establish. Okay, Romans 9:26, or actually we're going to start here in Romans 9:23, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on who? The vessels of mercy. All right, whom many people keep acting like don't exist. All right, he's gonna make known his riches on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory, even us whom he has called, not of the Israelites only, not of the Yahudim only, but also of the Gentiles, as he saith also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not my beloved. And it shall all come to pass that in the place where it was said unto us, you are not my people, there you shall be called the children of the true and living God. Isaiah also crieth concerning the Yahudim. Though the number of the children of the Yahudim be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will the Lord make upon the earth. And as Isaiah said before, except the Lord of Sabaoth had left us a seed, you would have no hope of spiritual clarity and or understanding. Therefore you would be just as Sodom and made like unto Gomorrah, all right, where you were destroyed with no warning. Okay, but clearly it's the love of our God that's given all you people all these warnings. Okay, and we're the ones that's going to be established. All right, now I don't have time to get into this. We're going to have to bring up another video. All right, because I ain't trying to have a 3 hour long video. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this. All right, I'm going to take care of some things I need to take care of, and then I will be back to finish this up. Okay, on that note, people, shalom.